Hello friends, let us now learn some important points about congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Congenital adrenal hyperplasia or autosomal recessive defects which are involved in steroid hormone synthesis, and this is characterized by deficiency of some hormones and excess of other hormones which are seen in steroid hormone synthesis. This congenital adrenal hyperplasia is the most common adrenal disorder in childhood. There are many disorders associated with, there are many causes of congenital adrenal hyperplasia. Among them, we are going to learn about 4 different causes in today's chapter. Okay, today's lecture. So the first cause which we are going to learn is about 21 hydroxylase deficiency. Whenever there is 21 hydroxylase deficiency, first and foremost there will be deficiency of aldosterone. There will be deficiency of aldosterone, there will be deficiency of glucocorticoids is seen here, and there will be excess of sex steroids are seen. So here you will see deficiency of here you will see deficiency of aldosterone, you will see deficiency of glucocorticoids, and you will see deficiency of excess of sex steroids. So if there is deficiency of aldosterone, then you see symptoms like salt wasting, dehydration, and hyperkalemia are seen. If there is deficiency of glucocorticoids, then this leads to symptoms like hypoglycemia and shock are seen. If there is excess sex steroids, this leads to ambiguous genitalia in females are seen. So in congenital adrenal hyperplasia, first and foremost there will be deficiency of aldosterone and glucocorticoids, and there will be excess sex hormones. So if you see the lab diagnosis, there is hyperkalemia is seen due to deficiency of aldosterone, and you will see increased amounts of 17-hydroxyprogesterone levels are seen because of deficiency of 21 hydroxylase. See, whenever there is 21 hydroxylase, this 21 hydroxylase normally helps in conversion of progesterone to deoxycorticosterone, or it will help to convert 17 hydroxyprogesterone to 11 deoxycortisol. So due to the deficiency of 21 hydroxylase deficiency, 17 hydroxyprogesterone levels are accumulated, and you will also have genetic diagnosis like there will be mutation on chromosome 6 will be found out, and once if we find out this mutation in chromosome 6, then this is confirmatory for the diagnosis of 21 hydroxylase deficiency. This is mainly used in prenatal diagnosis of 21 hydroxylase deficiency, that is finding out the mutation on chromosome 6. Then if you see the treatment is, because there is deficiency of aldosterone, you should give hydrocortisone, and fludrocortisone should be given lifelong replacement. They should be lifelong, you should give them. And then you will have to increase the salt intake in these patients, and you will have to ask the patient to increase the dose of glucocorticoids. Glucocorticoids should also be replaced because there is a deficiency of glucocorticoids. These doses should always be increased in terms of stress. If you find out that there is antenatally itself, that is when the baby is in the mother's womb itself, if you found out that the baby is suffering from congenital adrenal hyperplasia, in such cases the drug of treatment, the drug of choice for antenatal treatment of congenital adrenal hyperplasia is dexamethasone. So this is about the first deficiency in congenital adrenal hyperplasia, that is 21 hydroxylase deficiency. Then the second deficiency is 11 beta hydroxylase deficiency. This 11 beta hydroxylase deficiency, here there is excess of mineralocorticoids are seen. There is also excess of mineralocorticoids, excess of 11-deoxycortisol is seen, and there is excess of sex steroids are seen. So because of excess of mineralocorticoids, this results in hypertension. Excess of sex steroids, this will lead to ambiguous genitalia in females. But the glucocorticoids in this situation, the glucocorticoids are completely normal. Okay, so that is the main thing. This you should remember. For 11 beta hydroxylase deficiency, there is excess of mineralocorticoids and sex steroids, whereas glucocorticoids are normal. Then if you see, the third disease is 3 beta hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase deficiency. This 3 beta hydroxy steroid dehydrogenase deficiency, here there is deficiency of mineralocorticoids, there is deficiency of mineralocorticoids, there is deficiency of glucocorticoids is seen, and also deficiency of sex steroids are also seen in this condition. Whenever there is deficiency of mineralocorticoids, this will lead to salt wasting, dehydration and hyperkalemia. Okay, whenever there is deficiency of glucocorticoids, the fight and flight response does not occur, and there will be shock, and there will be hypoglycemia also, because glucocorticoids are responsible for regulation of gluconeogenesis and glycogenolysis and glycogenesis, everything related to carbohydrate metabolism. Then deficient sex steroids will have, here there is one important thing, though there is deficiency, there is deficient sex steroids, so there is normal genitalia in females are seen. But if there are sex steroid deficiencies, mostly the males affected, so there is virilization or ambiguous genitalia are seen in males. Especially in males you see ambiguous genitalia. So these are the important points about 3 beta hydroxylase deficiency. And finally, if you see last enzyme 17 hydroxylase deficiency, whenever there is 17 hydroxylase deficiency, here there is excess of mineralocorticoids, there is excess of mineralocorticoids, and there is only excess of mineralocorticoids. That means because of increased mineralocorticoids, there is increased sodium and chloride absorption, causing hypertension, hypokalemia and hypernatremia, right? But there is no effect on glucocorticoids or sex hormones, so everything will be normal in them. Okay, except that there can be sometime ambiguous genitalia in males. One important thing is there can be ambiguous genitalia in males. So in congenital adrenal hyperplasia, if you see, there are 3 important things. So here if you take into account, there are 3 main important things, that is first and foremost deficiency of deficiency of aldosterone, deficiency of glucocorticoids and excess sex steroids are important things in 21 hydroxylase deficiency. Where there is deficiency of aldosterone, glucocorticoids and excess sex steroids. In 11 beta hydroxylase deficiency, all the three are excess, okay, except glucocorticoids. There is excess mineralocorticoids, sex steroids, glucocorticoids are normal. In 3 beta hydroxysteroid deficiency, it is 3, you can remember like this. If here in the name itself we have 3, so all the 3 are deficient here. In 3 beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase, all the 3 are deficient. Then in 17 hydroxylase deficiency, there will be only excess mineralocorticoids. There will be only excess mineralocorticoids. Okay, so this is important. Okay, now there is one more important thing, which is, if you were, I'll put it here itself. If you were given that 2 conditions, where first condition is ambiguous, first condition is presence of ambiguous genitalia in females, and if this female has salt wasting with hyperkalemia, if the patient has salt wasting with hyperkalemia, what is the diagnosis? If this is the question, ambiguous genitalia in female with salt wasting with hyperkalemia. See, here ambiguous genitalia in females, that means there is excess sex steroids, okay, and then there is salt wasting with hyperkalemia. Salt wasting with hyperkalemia is, there is deficiency of aldosterone. So where do you see the salt wasting with deficiency of aldosterone, that is excess sex steroids with deficiency of aldosterone? This is this one. Excess sex steroids with deficiency of aldosterone is 21 hydroxylase deficiency. So the answer here is 21 hydroxylase deficiency. Then I'll give you one more question. Second question, similarly here also there is ambiguous genitalia and in female, but here with hypertension. So that means here there is, number 1, there is excess of sex steroids, because there is ambiguous genitalia in females, which tells us that there is excess of sex steroids. But here there is hypertension, that means there is excess of aldosterone. So there is ambiguous genitalia in female with excess hypertension. So what is this? See, this is, that means excess of both sex steroids and aldosterone. So in this case, if you see, there is excess of both sex steroids and also so here if you see, there is both excess of sex steroids and also glucocorticoids. Sorry, there is both excess of mineralocorticoids, that is aldosterone, and also sex steroids. So this is 11 beta hydroxylase deficiency, right? Fine. This is the second. These are the 2 questions. Then I have 2 more questions. Okay, I'll write it here, right here. Now the next question here is, this is about under-virilization in males. Okay, if there is under-virilization in males with same individual, the same things, like if there is under-virilization of males with salt wasting and hyperkalemia, that means there is no or deficient sex steroids with salt wasting with hyperkalemia is deficiency of mineralocorticoids. Okay, this means it is, you can easily see here that there is virilization in males with deficiency of salt wasting and hyperkalemia with virilization. This is 3 beta hydroxysteroid dehydrogenase deficiency. Okay, now we have second question. Second question is, there is undervirilization of male with hypertension. Okay, undervirilization of male with hypertension. When there is undervirilization of male, then that is there is no or deficient sex steroids. Along with that, there is more or excess aldosterone or mineralocorticoids. So this is nothing but here there is excess mineralocorticoids with ambiguous genitalia in males. So that is 17-hydroxylase deficiency. So this is the four different questions which are repeatedly asked. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you.